Welcome, everybody. Good to have you guys here once again. G2K here with his weekly chat. And today we're going to be having a good time as always, man. We're going to be talking about this past events, current events, and, future events. Obviously, this week we're probably stacked. We got another live chat tomorrow with Turbo John and Wes Clapp for Turbo John's Backwards Brawl. But today we are going to be talking about this event that happened this last weekend, and I'm going to put it up right here. It was the Southwest Florida Fall Brawl. And what an event it was, man. Appreciate everybody who's out there watching. Rob, what's up, man? Wonder how the weather's out there in Rhode Island. Must be good. Backyard Shenanigans, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for checking us out. Cole Waltz, man, you know already what time it is, man. So I appreciate each and every one of you that's hopping out here right now and taking time on a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening as we're here enjoying this live chat. I'm going to try to have some of the winners. I don't know who might be able to hop on board. I reached out to several guys today. I mean, there was 4 classes, guys. We had the Run What You Brung. We had the Modern Muscle. We had the True Street class. And we had basically what I don't want to say the most important, but definitely, what everybody usually looks forward to, and that's the small tire competition. And we had some heavy hitters on it. The turnout maybe wasn't exactly what we were hoping for. I mean, the weather early on, it was not the greatest. So a lot of people might have gotten, I don't know, scared. I mean, I know the test and tune night that we had, and you guys saw it on our test and tune night before. The test and tune night was awesome. There was a ton of cars out there, man. If you guys see me looking down, man, I'm just trying to see if I could get anybody else to hop on. But I'm going to try to reach out to the small tire winner, Nate Long, and see if he'll hop on here and talk a little bit about his car and talk a little bit about his win, man. I mean, I know that it was very emotional, it was fantastic. But, yeah, guys, I'm going to go back and just, show a couple of clips. The first clip I'm going to show you guys right here, I believe it was the Modern Muscle Final. Check this out, guys. We had the F-150 Shane Cunningham against Scott Marshall in his white Mustang.
Hey, he's still over there doing a
A couple of his fans, the Backyard Shenanigans. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and that little notification.
This is the final for this one. You could say like you'll remember it. It's
All right, drag racing at hand right now. Modern Muscle Final.
Modern Muscle Final. You want to hop over and give him
Shane Cunningham and the Cunningham Performance Boosted Ford
Square
Pickup
by his hand. By the square by his hand.
will be on the left side. Scott Marshall in the Mustang on the right side. Marshall already in.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go
Both
quick.
stage bulbs lit up. Tree set. There you go. How about that now?
And there you had that, guys, man. It was a pretty awesome race. A lot of people on the live chat. Some of you guys were rooting for the truck. Some of you guys were asking how come a truck was allowed in that modern muscle class, man. But hey, it fit the rules and it went through tech and it was approved, and that's what they got, man. I mean, who can't say that a modern muscle is a pickup truck, man? I mean, I drive an S10 and I consider it a semi-muscle car. I mean, so people might say it's a pickup truck, but hey, everybody has a different opinion. I do not, guys, and I apologize for this, and I apologize to Ricky Wright. I believe, somewhere in the pits interviewing one of the drivers when they had the True Street final, which I thought the True Street final had already gone through with James B. and Ricky Wright in the Dodge Challenger. I thought that had happened already. but lo and behold, it hadn't happened. And then all of a sudden, I heard the cars fire up. I heard the cars take off, and next thing you know, I hear Ricky wins the True Street final. So guys, I don't have a clip of that, but I wish I did, man. I apologize to Ricky for not having that, but I'm pretty sure that next time, that will be available. So let's take a look at the what's next here. Let's look at the Rung What You Brung, which I'm hoping is this right here. Check it out, guys. So here, as y'all know, we have Nova.
240's defending his
The
crown
owner of
right
the
now here.
Nova versus
Lightning
Albert
McQueen, baby.
in the
Let's see,
240
Raul or Albert.
SX
Who's going to take it? Drove around him at the big end.
Well, guys, real quick, there we had Albert in his 240. He was the reigning Rung What You Brung champion from last event. He ended up edging out, I believe it was a Camaro at that event. And now, again, here he goes and edges out Raul. I mean, it was a good race. Raul got him on the light, but, man, he just slowly reeled them in. I mean, that all-wheel drive car is something serious, man. I was really rooting for it to have stayed here, with the West Coast guys, because I almost felt like this whole, all these classes somehow, some way had some guys from the East Coast of Florida. So I almost felt like it was an East Coast versus the West Coast. And it was an amazing event as it went. But without further ado, guys, man, let's just take this moment right now and just check this little video out.
Hey guys, G2K here. I just want to take this time to thank you guys, each and every one of you, for watching this live stream. And if you haven't subscribed already, now is your chance. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps our channel out. So G2K Racing is here for you guys to bring you exclusive content, exclusive interviews, and exclusive live streams. So stay tuned. We got plenty more to go. Let's continue with the action.
Hey, glad you're watching G2K Racing. If you need some more racing action and, hey, some plain old shenanigans, make sure you check out my channel, Backyard Shenanigans.
Guys, to subscribe for me. Subscribe to this man's page. Watch some cool ass drag racing.
Hey, you heard it here first, guys.
Oh, that was pretty good.
You lost, motherfucker. You straight up lost.
Where's the best fried bologna sandwich in Oklahoma?
It's not in the fucking county jail. I'm sorry.
The problem is right now I'm gonna look for the borrowed, broken, used menu.
Hit me in the mouth. Back up.
You gotta love this guy. He loves the sport just to sit out here and sweat and be with us. You gotta love it.
I love the chase.
Want to see more racing? Go check out our YouTube channel, @Team Meatball Racing. For all your no prep content. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, guys, and we're back. And I just received word also that Nate Long will be on the show, and so will Mike Corley. So I think we're going to have Mike hopping on here real soon. I think Nate is right behind them. So I'm going to try to get, I'm going to try to see who hops on here, and we're chatting. But let's see who's going to be the first one to truly pop up. And we're going to get him up here. Let me just try to set how I set up the panel to have as many viewers as I can up here. And let's do this real quick. And let's see. I think we got Nate Long. He's here with us. He is the small tire winner of this event. Small tire winner. Nate Long, and the Monte Carlo. We're gonna bring him on stage right now, guys. What up, Nate?
What's going on?
Good to have you here, man. Good to have you here, man. I'm glad that you were able to, to make it onto the show, man.
Yeah, of
So,
course, man.
quick question, man. I just want to start off with let's talk a little bit about your car and exactly what it is. I think I got a picture of it right now, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta just look and scroll real quick through here, but I want you guys to check this out right here, right now. There it is, man. He's flying in that thing, man. That's a killer shot, man. Who took that shot?
KC Photography. They're like the in-house photographer at BMP.
Wow, that's man. I don't know
Yeah,
how they got it.
always, man. Always.
That thing is
Anytime
off
you
the
go there,
chain,
you're gonna
man.
get a killer shot.
That thing is off the chain. So, Nate, real quick, man, can you give me a little just a backstory? Give the audience a little backstory of the car and what's in it, and just a little story on how you got the car, built the car, like just a little
Yeah.
backstory.
So pretty much, it's something me and my dad have wanted to do for like a really long time.
Awesome.
And he had some things in his life that kept him away from it, and then we finally got to a point where we were able to do it. And we went through multiple cars. We had a BMW. We had a other Monte Carlo that was just really raggedy that we were going to build. Then we found this one and we bought it. And instantly, we did one of those things where like, yeah, it's going to make 800 horsepower. And then it was more and more. And it spiraled. And it's on its second rendition now. If you guys follow any of the stuff, you can see a video of it before it was painted on G2K actually.
Yeah,
And
we got a video of it.
Yeah, and now we just actually got it painted. Our good friend and sponsor Swanson's Auto Repair helped us out on that one. Did a little handiwork on that. Totally transformed the car, and it's just an LS with a 94 millimeter forced inductions TDI turbo.
Wow.
It's a big single. That's why you saw it out there back halfing.
Yeah, I saw you doing a lot of things out there with it, man. I mean, the thing was, it was definitely
we
moving.
probably asked my wife how she felt about that one.
Yeah, exactly, man.
But
Well,
yeah,
I
there
think
was some scary, definitely some of my scariest moments since racing happened this weekend. However, it was my first no prep, so I guess that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was an amazing event, man. How everything just transpired, and I think we were talking even before it started, and you were like, "Well, man, maybe if maybe I get to go against Beller, in the finals," and
Yeah.
that's exactly what ended up happening, man. And
so I won't even lie. I wanted the whole goal going there was to dodge Daryl until the finals, because I know that he's a bad man.
Yeah.
He never misses. I have a lot of respect for him. I've spoke to him at the track. He's shared knowledge with me, and I knew going into this that I was gonna have to race him. I knew at some point. I knew I had a fast car, and I know he has a fast car. Not dismissing any of the other cars on the property. There was a lot of fast cars on the property. But I had this gut feeling, and I believe I told it to you, that it was going to be me and him in the finals.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I let my lovely daughter draw my chip, and we get him first round. And my heart dropped. I was like, I came so far. I worked so hard, and I got this man first round.
Yeah. What were you thinking at that moment, man? Like, damn, like.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking I'm gonna need to grab the scramble button, and that's what caused what happened first round. That actually, in my head, made me believe I lost.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I didn't see it from outside the car, but I believe that I was gonna win that race had I not missed the shift. I missed my shift. The car got on the limiter, totally unloaded the suspension, and when I clicked the shift, it kicked the tire so fast. There was nothing I could do. The car just hit sideways I did everything I could to take it off the wall. Gives me goosebumps. Like, it was spooky.
Yeah, I bet, man. I know that it's one of those where, like when I was watching it, um, it went, man, and I said, wow. But then, like inside, I said to myself, if that wouldn't have happened, Nate, had a chance at that moment in time. I didn't know that there was buybacks at that point in time. But the way I saw the
Yeah.
speed of your pass, I felt like if that would have stayed straight, that would have, you would have won at that moment. And that's why, like I was like, wow. So
Yeah,
then
which
talk to
I'm
me through what happened
thankful.
next.
I'm thankful that the no prep we were able to actually. I mean, it's not normal, but we were able to get testing because I've never raced on no prep, and
Yeah.
I was able to get the car kind of figured out, and I actually left the same tune-up in it all weekend. I
Wow.
didn't touch the engine tune-up once. All I did was tweak the suspension, and it turned out great. I mean, I can't believe what happened, man. It's still kind of surreal.
Well, your second race back between you and Cody.
Yeah,
That was
I
another
love
one.
that car.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite cars. Every time I see it out, just because our cars both actually came out at the same time,
Yeah.
like right around the same time, and we saw each other at Bradenton, and I followed his car from a distance, and I believe he told me he had like followed mine a little bit, so it was kind of cool. And then now we met. We're friends now and stuff on Facebook, and we were talking at the track a lot, and they were actually like, "No, dude, we're glad we drove you. We love racing you." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I actually raced them Friday night as well, just for like a fun run.
I know. Yeah, we were there watching it too, man, and that's where like I was like, man, when you guys drew each other, I think there was a moment there where I was like, wow, and I'm pretty sure I have it in the live stream where I'm seeing both of your faces, and it's like and I'm thinking, wow, man, this is gonna be a race, man, because you guys are both turbo cars, both G bodies. It's father and son, like that's like I'm
Yeah,
like it looks so similar that, man, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but you were able to pull out the victory, man, and then I think you got the bye to the finals, and I think
yeah.
that
Well, so yeah, and then I got the bye to the final. I chose not even to take my pass, but yet, people still had a problem with that one.
well, yeah, I know you had some issues, and I think I got that on my video too, because I mean I was right there when there was a gentleman. He was just he was just arguing and complaining about the whole thing and just blaming people and blaming you guys
Yeah,
and just going back and forth with it, man. But
and
I
no,
read,
I wouldn't have had a problem. I would have put the bye chip back had someone in the drivers' meeting maybe protested it. Because listen, I'm like one of the most easiest going guys. Like literally, you be like, hey, we don't think you should get the bye since you bought it back in. I'd be like, yeah, sure, man, here you go, take it back.
yeah,
I was there to
yeah,
race. I wouldn't have cared if
exactly,
I had to race every car on the property. I would have.
of course. I mean, you love the sport and you're a fellow racer that enjoys it and is there, like I said, to compete. Win or
Yeah,
lose, man, you
exactly.
don't get faster unless you're there competing. I mean, I think that, from the side, from the bleachers or from the side, it's not the same as to when you're in the car, man, and you're out there and you're performing and you're getting seat time. I mean, this car is fairly new. I've been watching your Facebook build with it, and
Yeah,
I think it, like for a year I've seen it how you were always posting like I'm buying this, I'm waiting on this part, this is happening,
yeah.
man. Check this. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna try to put it on screen there, man. But that's
Hey, there
Daryl
you
Beller, man.
go.
He says you're the man, bro. So
Nah,
Daryl,
that's him,
man.
man. That's him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a class act, man. And I think that they got that event on Saturday up in
Yeah, he
Showtime.
actually gets to race my teammate this
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah. I think Swanson's gonna be out there, right,
Yep,
Ron?
Mr. Ron Swanson in the orange
Wow.
peel.
Yeah, I know Daryl. I think took that last event, man, and I'm gonna try to see if I can make it out there Saturday and do some kind
Oh
of
man,
filming as
yeah, I'm
well.
I'm sadly not going to be able to make it out there, but I'll be there. I'll be there in spirit with
Yeah,
Ron. I'll be in
yeah.
there lining them up on a starting line in spirit.
Well, I mean, I've seen it, man. I've seen the bond that you, your dad, and Ron have, man, and it's something impressive every time I see it. Just as like the excitement. I
Yeah,
mean, I remember one time I think that you had something on your windshield, and Ron went ahead and just took off his shirt and just
Yeah,
wipe
man.
the windshield for you. You know.
He's honest to God, he's a great guy. He really is. You know, me and my dad are blessed to have him around.
That's so awesome, man.
It's rare that, you know, I get to see, like, a son gets to see his dad like change, and I've been able to see my dad change, and Ron has been a big part of changing him for the better.
Yeah.
And they're just two great guys. And people are like, "Oh, you hang out with your dad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like my dad's my best friend." Like
That's so
straight up.
awesome,
I mean,
bro.
I'm saying this live. I don't care. Like people think it's crazy that I mean, we argue like we're brothers. People think we're brothers. And yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
well, that's
blessed
what
to
I
have
thought
that
too.
bond.
That's what I thought too. I thought he was like an older brother because usually, like I said, you
Yeah,
don't see the.
a lot of people think that.
Wow, man, that's truly amazing, dude. That's truly amazing. So you get.
I keep telling him he needs to put a driver's suit on and get in the seat, and he won't.
Well,
I think
I'm
he
telling
might
you
be a
one
little
thing, man. Every
scared.
time I see his face, and he's like in the seat with you, man. Because just
Yeah.
from the excitement that he's in there, even to the moments where he sees you, you know what I mean? Because like I said, dude, you've had a lot of squirrely passes, man, where it's just gone, man. You got
Oh,
one that he
trust
just
me.
went. So it's every time I'm telling him, man, hold your breath. And I think that we had that conversation. I think even before the final, or it was one race where I said, man, just if you know, just don't be the hero. If you gotta, if it is what it is, if you feel like you gotta do it, but if not, man, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your family, your
That's a
kids,
big thing.
everything.
That's a big thing I always tell my dad, because you know he'll be like, "Hey, don't forget, like, don't. It's not important. It's just a race." And he's big on like telling me to lift and all that. You know, of course, I really want to, as the driver, win the race, but I tell everyone, I'm like, it's not that important to me. Like, I could really care less. Like, I'm not gonna purposely know in my head, "Hey, I should get out of it and stay in it." Like the pass against Daryl, even I was I was so scared that that man was going to catch me, but I don't know if I don't know if you could see it in the video, because I know the end of the track's pretty dark,
Yeah.
but right at the end, like I'm talking 500-ish feet, my car actually got a little sideways, and I actually had to come off the throttle. I looked at the data log yesterday, and I was out of the throttle for a half a second, down to 30% throttle, just to save the car on the big end, and
Yeah.
it darted right, and I was so scared to lift. I just knew I had to.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you can see that, man. I think that's your wife. I think she
Yeah, I
came
think she's
on.
watching in the living room.
That's so awesome, man. That's awesome. Just the core support, man, the unit that you guys got, and just the mindset, man. I know you're young, and just the mindset of, like I said, man, once you're in that car, and you take off, there's really, just nothing anybody can really do for you other than, you're there in the car, man. It's
Yeah,
racing,
no,
man.
it's
Every time you suit up, it's like, you're taking basically your life into your own hands, because you really don't know, what could happen, man. But in this
exactly.
particular night, in this particular event, man, you came out on top, man. And I wanna so here you go. You draw the bye to the finals. You're looking at this race, because I think I saw you on the sideline as you're looking at Joseph and Beller, going head to head, and they made a race, but Beller came out on top, man, and so now that here it is again, like it's knocking again on your
Yeah.
door. How you feeling at
I
that
actually
moment?
said the words. I don't know who was standing on the starting line, but right after he made that pass against Joseph, which I believe was one of his best passes of the night, in the right lane too. I turned around and I was like, I got my hands full. And I don't know, somebody was standing up there and they were laughing about it. I don't know who was up there, but I went back and I went straight back to my dad and I was like, "Hey, I need to put more on the scramble button." I was like, "I think I'm gonna need it." I was like, "He just made a really good pass." And so then I'm frantically back there after me and Daryl conversated on lanes, and I'm frantically on the laptop trying to put more dome pressure on my scramble button. And every time I go to upload the tune into the car, it deletes the tune. I upload it
Wow.
and it deletes it. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And mind you, I've been on the same tune all weekend. And here I am trying to change it and it's not working. My dad starts freaking out. And I'm like, "Listen, it's a sign, dude." I was like, "Put the laptop away." We put the laptop away. I didn't touch the tune. And we went out there and we were able to pull out the W. And if
Wow,
I would
man.
have put more on the scramble button and I would have ended up hitting it, it would have for sure spun.
Yep.
And I
Especially
finally
out there
lost the
where,
race.
especially out there where I've seen it happen to you at the 330, man, around there. That I've seen it just spin the tires, man, and that's it. That little bit of smoke, and you got a killer like Daryl that he's on kill mode, man. Daryl, the whole event, every time I saw it, he said, "You might as well not have the event. You might as well just give me the trophy." You
It's
know.
so. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I rewatched the whole live stream. Um,
I
Sunday.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I
I
appreciate
rewatched
you
the whole
went.
live stream just because when you're there racing, I love watching racing. Like there's a lot of times I'll tell Dad, I'll be like, "Hey, let's leave the car. I want to go watch." I love watching racing, and I actually stopped and I screen recorded those sections of the video.
And what'd you do?
And
And
I
you
was
said
like,
it.
and I sent it. We have just a little chat between me, my dad, and Ron, and a couple of other buddies. I sent it. And I
Yeah.
was like, "This is kind of funny now," and I just thought it was hilarious. But I was like, at one point I had that much confidence, and like, it's good to have that much confidence. If you go into it thinking you're gonna win, I
Yeah.
mean, look, he would have won. I mean,
Well, he's gonna tell you. Well, he's gonna tell you something right there. I see that he says he has the utmost respect for you, young
and
man, and
that
he
man,
can't.
that means a lot. It really does mean a lot.
That does, man. Let me tell you, Daryl is as hardcore as it gets. I've had conversations with Daryl, and Daryl is as real as it gets. He says he's down to go to any of these small tire events. He says I'm willing to go to the ends of the
He's
world.
a
That's
true
how,
racer, man.
yeah, that's how serious he is about it. So every time I see him there, man, he'll joke around with you, but he's as serious as a heart attack. Once he gets in that car and he puts his gear on, man, he's a different
Yeah.
man. I've seen it. So that's so awesome
No, he
to
really
just see
is.
how.
Every time I've ever spoken to him, I've felt that same way.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Now, I
trying
got
to listen. That's where I want to be. I want to grow up in this. Because I'm young. I'm celebrating my 24th birthday this week. I'm youngin',
wow.
and so I want to when I reach my older ages, I want people to be able to respect me. I want to be a known name in
Yeah,
in the the industry and in the scene, I guess you could call it. Um, and so that's I want to work towards being a career long racer, I guess you could call
yeah.
it.
That's awesome, man. We need more people like you, man, that actually have that drive to where it's part of their DNA, man, versus just going out there and
Yeah, I
being
mean, there's a lot of young people out there that are that are pursuing it, and I think just one thing that I try to hold myself on is trying my best to be modest because I was gifted with what I have. My dad does allow me to drive his car, and a lot of people have stuff to say about that, but that's why I try my best to be modest because at any point this could all be taken from me.
yes, of course.
So I just feel like that kind of helps drive me a little further than some people my age. That's the biggest thing that I look at, which I feel like it pushes me forward.
Yeah, it drives you that way, man. That's the key, man. That's the key to be able to get it, man. And I mean, the car, like I said, it's a a proof of what hard work, dedication, long hours, and a team. Like I said, it's not a
Yeah,
one man show, and that's what I like about you guys. How you guys bring that team effort into it, and every time, it's like a group victory versus it's me in the car. So I mean, you're surrounded by people who love you, who admire you, and at the same time, like I said, I believe that this is like your first event that
yeah.
with,
That's
with this
so.
car.
So we started this car 2 years ago, and our whole goal was we wanted to build a car that could do a little bit of everything. We wanted it to be streetable, be a street car. Like I put my tag on to win this small tire race. I think I don't remember if I was telling you or Mike that, but and we wanted to do a little bit of everything. We wanted to be able to drive it to Cars and Coffee. We want to be able to quarter-mile race. We want to be able to eighth-mile race, and it has since spiraled into a more grudge-esque car, I guess you could say, a little more secretive on the side of things, but and this whole time all we wanted to do was get it in a race, and it seems like every time we would go to enter it, it would break. We had issues with head gaskets the first year the car was out. Um, And then we had some transmission issues. So it seemed like every time we went to make a race, something happened, or we would have a family emergency, or, you know, something would take precedence over the car. And this was the first event that just all the stars aligned and we were actually able to make it out. We were able to make it to a full. Tested the week before, tested the week of, you know, all the stars aligned. We were able to make the race, and it just ended up being like literally the perfect race. You know, it ended up being a smaller car count for my first race. I couldn't have, you know, I really couldn't have asked for a better event. I thank Mike on Facebook. I thanked him a couple times. It really was a great event, even though the turnout was less than I believe he had expected.
Yeah, and we're gonna have him on the show probably, you know, in a little bit, just to talk about that, and we're gonna go over and just, you know, chat about everything that happened, and you know, and moving forward. I mean, I know you've seen the Facebook post. We're trying to, you know, really get you know, something, you know, and I'm not saying that this wasn't serious. I just think that it was like in a cusp of things, the dates and stuff. So I think that the next one that we have, we're gonna have some, you know, at least official lock-ins, which will actually, you know, give even the racers that, you know, inspiration, like, okay, man, you know, we're going to have, you know, 15, 20 cars. And I think that the small tire, man, is the future. I believe that at your age, you're only going to get, you know, better and better. You know, and you're on the right path, man. You got the right people right by your side. So I want to take this moment real quick to show the audience, you know, that final moment, you know, basically your final, between you and Daryl. And I want you to, I mean, I was going to, you know, slow it down and then say, what'd you think here? And then I was going to go a little further and what you thought there. And then when you did your burnout and you saw, you know, Ron, I might ask you that after, but let's all like just try to grab the moment in as you're watching it. Once again, I mean, I know that I probably would have watched it 10,000 times if I would have won this race. I think it's like,
I couldn't even tell you how many times I've watched this video.
So, and that's like I told you, man, I got my brother. They're doing a whole video of the event, man. I can't wait to see what he's gonna pull out of the hat with it. But I'm gonna show you what I got from the ladder. Which now, like I said, I have tremendous back pain. I don't know what's happening. I think that just I'm old and I can no longer be up on a 8-foot ladder, 6-foot ladder trying to get this content. But I'm gonna show you guys, and here we go. We got Nate Long here, the winner of Small Tire. Check out his race. Burnout, bro. What are you thinking at that moment, man?
I don't know. I mean, I felt
small time final.
Well, I know we won't be able to hear you. So I'm gonna wait.
Daryl Beller on the right side in the Camaro, pumping the jiggle cues. Looking for the win here at Small Tire. Going up against that Monte Carlo, though. The boosted Monte Carlo on the left side. That thing's fast as well. This is going to be a great race. Monte Carlo's going to be getting up on the boost.
Hey, Mike, come.
Small tire final.
Here it is, guys.
Daryl moving in. Top
What do you guys think?
Drove them.
How about that light,
Good job, dude. Good job, buddy. Hey. First time out. $1 million, bro.
Oh, that's what that was about?
Yes, that's what it's about.
That's badass,
So let me go back to that that moment, man, where you're in the car, now you're in the staging lane, you take off, and and you do your burnout, man, and the next thing you're looking at me, you do a smoking burnout, man. John Ford's going out there, and then you have, I believe it's Ron. You know, he's walking you back, man. So run that through me right now, man, as you're doing it.
So I don't know, man. I feel like Ron always has this way of just looking into, like, I swear he like looks in the car, and I trust him wholeheartedly to put me right where I need to be. And so as he's lining me up, we actually had a little discrepancy on where I was supposed to be, where I felt I was supposed to be versus where he thought I was supposed to be when we were coming up, when he was bringing me right back up, like right into the beams. And he kept wanting me to turn the wheel, and I felt like I shouldn't. And once he walks away, you can see in the video, I turned my wheel a little bit like the way he was telling me I should have put it. Because I'm sitting in there and I'm like, I should probably listen. And but I'll tell you the most intimidating part about the race, you know, nitrous cars, they're so loud. They sound so much better than turbo cars. And when Daryl's up there banging it through the motor on the line a couple times, every time he's doing it, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that thing sounds so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I could rev mine up and it sound that good. But I'm like, okay, focus. I'm not gonna let that get in my head. And I had really been trying to be good on the tree all weekend. I've been really trying. I was practicing with Instant Green Friday night, and I'm usually really late on the tree. Instant Green, though, I seems that I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I go out there, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought I jumped. I'd never cut that good of a light, and our car weight transfers really hard. And so I know usually you can see the red light when you red light, and I didn't see the red light, but it was because the nose was up. And so I got to the end, and I was freaking out, celebrating. I was like, oh, wait. And then I totally tricked myself. I was like, no, I lost. I red lit. And I don't know who the nice man was that was standing in the stands that told me I won when I was freaking out because I didn't know. But whoever you are, thanks, man, because I was freaking out. I really thought I had lost that one. And I had somebody in the stands tell me I won, and I just got so pumped, man. I didn't.
Guys, I'm gonna bring Nate back on here. I have no idea what just happened, but something happened. Let me bring Nate back on here again.
Happened. Oh.
Yeah, right here, Nate. I'm back.
We're good?
Yeah. Let me put you back on because you were right there saying your dad, and then I'm telling you, man, when things are going good, man, something like that tends to happen. That's crazy, bro. But I'm gonna put you right back on here. There you go again. So start right where you said my dad, and that's where it just like glitched.
Yeah, so I knew my dad was me down there, and like just this battle me and him have had with this car, the fights we've had over the car, like all this just finally paid off. So like I knew like there was going to be so much emotion between me and him over this win because like you can ask anybody that's around us, the amount that this car has, the pressure this car has put on us is just unreal because we've been striving so hard for this one win. And to have finally done it, it was just this overwhelming feeling. I'm sure he would agree.
Man, it's. We got Tyler here. He's saying the reaction of your dad and Ron is awesome, man. As he was.
That's my brother-in-law.
That's your brother. That's awesome, man. Yeah. He was. One thing I noticed that once the cars came back, he was right there next to your dad. They were like they just like went like gravitated, and I mean that you know that moment.
No, we're a very close family, man. Everybody in our family is involved in the car somehow. You know, my mom makes things for the car. Even it's we're ride or dies, man. When it comes to family.
Well, Daryl says that he will lock in only if Nate runs me first round. So He's trying to call you out first round, man. I mean, I think you guys can have a little grudge race, but man, come on, Daryl. You want to get him out of there real quick, huh? Let me see what he says. Oh yeah, look, Daryl's saying, but he was talking about the stuff when you were saying about the light and stuff. He says that people were telling him that he will protest, but he said, but you put a car on me off the line, and there was no way. And that was it. And then what does he say? I could catch you. Great race, my friend. So, man, shout outs to Daryl Beller, man. He's a class act, and like I said, I mean, to me, it looked like, like it was there, dude. Like you saw
I
green,
think I think the race was really won on the light. I think we have two very, his car's a lot more predictable. I feel like my car's still a wild card.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're at a very similar level. Like there would be I feel like if me and him raced, it would go back and forth.
I'm pretty sure
I would not be 100% for sure the next time I raced him, I would beat him.
We got Jose Rodriguez, here from Rod's Custom too, man. He's saying what's up to us, man.
That is my chassis guy.
That's awesome, man. I'm telling you, man, it's like a whole unit that you guys have, man. And that's what makes it so amazing. How everything just, there's been long hours, man, put into the performance that you did, man. I mean, I know that the car sometimes gets swirly.
My wife's sitting next to me saying, mm-hmm.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, man. So, what'd you feel like once your dad, like you open the car, your dad's there, he gives you a hug, you guys embrace. Was it that moment like that? Like that had to have felt great, man, because that's
it was just this overwhelming joy and relief. Like it almost was like, okay, I can do this again. Like,
wow.
Anybody who's worked on race cars that have fought them and that you get to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, and it's almost hard to keep going. Well, that's kind of where we were at with our car. We were getting to a point where like every time something would happen, it was hard. And like once we got that and we hugged at the big end, we both kind of looked at each other and there was just like overwhelming relief and just this joy. Like the next day, neither of us could stop talking about it. I think our family was probably getting annoyed with us.
Yeah, but that's an amazing thing, and that's to keep on talking, man. I mean, and right now I think we got here, man. And if you're not ready to go, man, I think right now we got Mike here with us. He's live, so let's check out Mike Corley, man.
What's up? Sorry,
is your mic muted or you could hear us? I think I can hear you.
I can hear you. I just muted the mic so you wouldn't hear me.
Awesome, man. I mean, you're a pro when it comes to that, man. So great to have you. Great to have you on the show, man. We got you know who this guy is already, man. He's our small tire winner. So
that's a small tire killer right there.
I don't know about killer.
Good job, Nick. Dude.
Thank you,
man. It was a good event, man, Mike. Like I said, especially being the fact that there was, it was like a total surprise. I feel like, you did the best with what, with the cards you had. And I think, it was still a success. There was people, there was cars, obviously, maybe not, the car count that you probably would have desired, but, I think you did a great job, man. Overall, how even everything was ran, from a racer and a live streaming standpoint, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. As for car count, I'm not sure what happened. I mean, I and a bunch of people advertised about 2 months ago for this, or a month and a half ago. I think maybe Friday night test and tune might have scared a couple of people away. Seeing some of the caliber of small tire cars that were coming out on Saturday, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. There's something about a Mockley that's strange. I mean, sometimes you get a really good car count, and like this last event, it was like a ghost town there. And I don't know. I invest a lot of time and effort into these events. Some people like them. Some people don't. I'm not really sure. Some people aren't happy that the rules don't follow whatever rules they've grown up with.
Yeah.
We base no prep off of the streets. That's how it's always been. I know people didn't like the buyback rule, and some guy was losing his shit at a Mockley about it.
Man, I didn't want to bring the clip out, because if I bring the clip
Oh,
out,
that guy was.
that clip, I think he even wanted to fight Ralph, because in one of those clips he said, "Yeah, the guy with the stand, you know, the guy who runs this place." And then, like, I think Ralph commented on Facebook, "Is he talking to me or who's he talking to?" You know, so
I don't think that guy knew what planet he was on by the end of the night, but yeah, I don't know what all that was about. I mean, everything I do and everybody who comes to my no preps know, I talk to you as a fellow driver. I don't run these things like it's my rules or no rules.
Yeah.
We have discussions about everything, and all the drivers always agree. I have never made a rule or done anything in any of this stuff without first talking to the group that's paying. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all racing each other, myself included.
Yeah.
I race Nate, I race everybody. You know what I mean? I'm a racer at heart. I'd rather, in all honesty, just show up if someone else was running these events, but no one ever stepped up to the plate. So I decided to do it for us as racers, as people who love to race.
Yeah.
So all the rules have been determined by everybody. I can't take credit and say, well, these are my rules and like some big dictatorship. Even when we put them on the Facebook group, we always have discussions with all the guys who are going to come out and race. And sorry, I don't take opinions of people in the crowd that have never, you know, all they do is just stand out there running their mouths and blah, blah, blah. I'll take the opinion of Nate. I'll take the opinion of people who show up and actually run their cars.
Exactly.
Those are the people that are important to me. And we always, as Nate knows, we had a meeting in the beginning and I asked all the drivers, I said, what do you guys want to do today? It's a small car count. We can do buybacks. The way buybacks work are exactly how we ran it. It wasn't my decision. It was the group's decision. So it's funny after the fact when people start saying, oh, it's not fair, it's not fair. But in the drivers' meeting, it was fair. And if you would have gotten knocked out, I'm sure it would have been fair as hell. So I can't read these things. They're too small.
Yeah, I know, man. You need glasses. But I think Nate read it. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, bro. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, you can show. I've seen all.
No, I'm not. I thought I was prepared, but I said, nah, it's gonna be a little too much drama. And the guy was funny, man. But the guy called. The guy specifically called. The guy called both of you guys out, man. So I didn't want it to be too personal.
He did reach out and apologize to me, for more so for disrespecting my family. That's all I was upset about.
Yeah.
I know talking trash is part of this thing. If he would have came over to my pit and said it to me, there would have been no harm, no foul. But you don't got to sit and yell at my wife.
There you go again, Mike, man. You're going to have to get close, real close.
I got my glasses on here. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone on the dashboard.
Well, it's Daryl, man. And Daryl's saying that he really enjoyed the event. And he thought you did a great job, Mike. He says he's looking forward to the next one, man. So...
Thanks, Daryl. You're a stand-up dude. It was fun racing. Daryl, he's got a badass car there, man. That's
heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, dude.
Every time.
You know, definitely. Once we have the next event, man, I'm gonna bring Daryl on live here, and I mean, he's gonna go to Showtime. Are you gonna go to Showtime, Mike, or no?
Well, I'm just heading back from the shop. I've torn the whole truck apart. I don't know if you know it or not, but we have a lot of changes. Dude, I'm always doing something with this thing. It's ridiculous. Anyway. I don't think I'll have it together by this weekend, but hopefully we'll have it together by the following weekend. And I think November 26th, there's something coming up.
There's a no prep in Orlando.
Yeah, I think that's... As soon as the truck's ready to roll again, there's nothing wrong with it. I didn't break anything. I just had bigger plans that I kind of held off with until after my race there because I didn't want to get involved in it beforehand. So as soon as the truck's done, it'll be back out. We're going to race that truck event that a bunch of guys from Immokalee reached out about, I think, in January. Dude, I'll race everything. I don't care. I love racing. So
I tried to enter that event. They said my trunk wasn't big enough.
You want to make it like an El Camino, huh?
Yeah, I said if I take the trunk lid off, it's like an El Camino. They said no. They said it wouldn't work.
Let me tell you, you gave me an idea. I should just build a badass El Camino and go and race the trucks, because technically it's a car truck, ain't it? Like, what would you consider an El Camino?
Hey, in my eyes, El Camino's as much pickup as my truck, so.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, that's a sleeper right there. I'm going to have to kamikaze it. Just cut it, man. Just cut it.
S10 is a G-body with leaf springs. So I guess an El Camino would be the best of both worlds.
Yeah, realistically, there's nothing wrong. I've seen a few El Caminos in tailgate class normally, so.
Well, I know Peter's got that mullet, and that's flying, man.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think I'd want to race that, but
Nah.
If you race that and beat him, then he'll come definitely to Immokalee because you say, I won't race you anywhere but Immokalee. Get your butt down here, man. He'll probably flock his ass down there. But damn, I shouldn't be even saying those words, man. This is PG, man. But man, I'm so glad that that Nate, you got the dub, man. It was valiant effort, man, and so I look forward to having you more on the show, man.
He did a good job. He treed Daryl. It's not very often to see somebody tree him, but he treed him, and it's 8th Mile, man.
Man, I'll tell you, I was sitting in the car practicing.
That was a nice job. You did a good job.
He came right out like a bullet, man. The crazy thing is, I'm gonna go back to that before that race. I think it was, I want to say, I don't know who was racing before that, but you were there on the stands and you were on the sideline. And I told you, I said, man, I think I said it too. I said, man, if Nate gets the left lane and he doesn't spin, he's got a good chance of winning it, man. And and Daryl, I think, came after and he said, I'm winning this thing. Like, that's it. Like, it ain't happening. So now there's gonna be a meme, bro. I hope you don't put a meme, bro, because
I'll tell you, he made me tree him. He came up to me before the finals and said that he was gonna tree me, and I was like, I can't let that happen.
Now that the race is done, did you guess that light?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you see Gary? Like, you knew when Gary was gonna do a movement or something that made you like, man, like you were studying Gary most of the night, or?
I wish he actually came up and was talking to me about it, and he was amazed.
Bro,
I knew I had to do something.
You definitely got a bit of luck on that light for sure. That was the
light
I've ever seen in an instant.
I knew I had to do something. I knew if I didn't get in front of Daryl, it wasn't gonna happen for me.
Oh, I agree.
And so I did what I had to do, and I was wanting to touch the scramble button the whole way, and I didn't.
Well, you came out on top, man. That's what it's all about, man. And I mean, like I said, you gotta, like I've talked to Mike before, man. Like, that's what it's about, man. It's about going out there, man, giving it your best, trying with, and then working on your car, learning your car, getting seat time, getting your car better for the next event. But it's continuously coming after it. If you go out there once in a blue moon, man, and it doesn't, like this is, the way that you've taken it, man. You've taken it serious, and and you've backed up a lot of the talking. Because there was a lot of hype. Every time I would see a Nate Long post, I'll be like, this guy, he's putting a turbo, and now he has a piping, and now he's saying he's putting a fender, and now he's taking the fender off, and now he's putting a clip front, and here comes the car, and then, but here you are, man, like it.
I think for a while everyone thought I was a bench racer, and then the car got done.
And the car got done, and the car showed up, and now that the proof is in the pudding, man, that you basically won this event, man, and now you're basically the reigning champion of the no preps in Immokalee. We don't have many, and when Mike comes down, man, he does as many as he can. So you're technically the reigning small tire. So they're gonna be gunning for you. That everybody with a small tire, like when I'm gonna talk to this with Mike in a little bit. Like there was a post there, and then everybody's like, "No, yeah." So once those lock-ins, I mean, they're coming. Now it's like,
well, I'm not trying to be cocky, but for those people, I still do have to get this car dialed. And I don't know how much power I'll be able to get myself to work on no prep because I don't know much, but I do have an 11-ish more pounds of boost usable. So
you sure you wanted to share that
turn
right
it up
away?
a little
I think
bit.
Mike right now ripped his motor out. Mike, I don't know what motor he's put in, but I saw, he's pulling out a motor. So, 11 pounds you got left to go, man. That's
yeah.
I'm putting back in the 4.3 Vortec. I think it was a good sturdy V6 motor.
Oh, that's it. Maybe it won't do wheelies now, for sure.
That's why I got to turn it down.
One day, me and Mike will have to do some side-by-side wheelies.
That's right.
Well, man, I mean, if you gotta, when you let it eat, man, you never know what's gonna happen once you let go of that trans brake, man. I think that's a rush that I think every human being should experience at least once in their life. Just to get on the trans brake and just let that thing go and just feel that, bro. Like, hold on, baby. That's all you gotta do. I see you got a Sinister shirt on. Or no, what shirt is that you got on? Oh, he's repping it, man.
I not wear it. The winner of the event's on it.
He's repping it, bro. Was that man? Was that's the shirt was done before the event? Yet the winners on the
Yeah, it
shirt.
wasn't staged. It wasn't staged.
Oh,
I don't
two
know,
out of
man, Mike. You probably spoke something to existence already, man. Damn, that's crazy.
two
Let me
out of
see.
three.
Oh, and look what Daryl's thing, man. Daryl says he's only has a 390 cubic inch. Only. He's got
I
a
only
baby.
got 370.
Oh man. I don't know, man. Daryl might be pulling something up his sleeve soon too, man. I just don't doubt it. But that's the excitement, man. And I think that's what it's about. It's about getting everybody, up to par. This guy says he's gonna be ready too, man. He's calling out your name, man. He's saying Nate or Nate. He wants something. I don't know. I think Mike is he's slowly creeping in there, man. I just gotta see Cool Whip get Cool Whipped because
Yeah, he's been talking. He's been talking. I think Cool Whip
he's
wants,
no,
wants the
he's
back
promoting
tire or something.
he's promoting everybody. He'll go out there and he'll say, "Hey, I think you're ready. Hey, I think you're ready." That's why you see me. I always chime in and I say, "What's up, Mike? Are you?" Because he's a man. He's promoting the hell out of everybody else, man. But I know he's gonna bring Cool Whip and get it right. Joseph says he's got a 306. Which I think I got the clip of Joseph versus Mike too, man, and Mike and your wheelie and all that good stuff. But we're gonna get that probably within the next couple minutes. So Nate, if you want to hang around while we talk, man, or if you gotta go,
No,
just
man, I'll head out of here.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, it's been awesome having you on, man. I'm gonna show these guys one more time. That car that you got, man, and where is it at? Where is it? Let me find it here, bro. I mean, I think we did the best of what we had right today. Let me see here. There it is, guys. Full screen. Let me
Beautiful car.
let me remove this, man. Yeah, man. Who painted it, Nate?
Ron Swanson.
Damn, man. So, has Ron drove in the car or no?
No, he has not.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Well, buddy, man, it's a pleasure having you on the show today, man. Once again,
Thank you
ladies
so
and
much.
gentlemen, let me put you on main screen here. Where we at, man? This thing is driving me crazy. There you go. All right, buddy. Have a good night, man. And, thank you for coming on the show, man.
No
Best
problem,
of
man.
luck
You have a
next
good
time.
night.
Enjoy your
Yeah.
victory.
Yeah, Nate.
All right, now we're gonna go and get to this talking right here with the man with Mike Corley, Sinister Performance Club, buddy. And you're in the darkness in there, man. I don't know. You
Sorry,
put
man.
another secret in there, and then you can't. You're driving,
like
huh?
I don't know. This is all the light the truck's got inside here, so I'm
So
pulled over.
you're inside. Are you inside the S10 right now? You're about to
No,
make a
I'm
rip.
I'm in my dually.
I thought you were about to make a rip somewhere, man. Well,
Not
yeah,
yet,
buddy.
not yet.
So I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking that the event. I mean, tell me from your. I mean, and I think we talked this, but a little brief, man, of your expectation and what you saw, and then at the night and the outcome, and then just moving forward. What are the plans as to what's going to go down, and then we'll talk about your racing in the event itself.
Sure. Expectations. You know what? I've done this enough times at Immokalee. I don't have expectations. We've tried a variety of different things. It all depends on the day and how people are feeling. I mean, the first couple no preps we did all right. There were quite a few cars. I mean, I was expecting now that this was the first one of the season, and everybody seemed to be pretty hyped up about it. I got a lot of messages. I got a lot of decent feedback on it. I was hoping that it was going to be bigger than it was. I'm not sure. Like, I've heard it was a little bit of the weather. I heard it was a little bit of other events going on at other tracks. I heard the problem is you hear a lot. I don't know. I don't get the feeling that people are committed to this quite yet, or if they're that interested, or I'm not sure. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of interest, but there's a lot of talking. There's always a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But when the day comes and all these people that were talking suddenly turn into ghosts. So
yeah.
Your hardcore group of guys who are at Immokalee most of the time racing that seem to show up to these things, which I'm happy they do. I mean, that's why I started doing this stuff.
Of course.
You know me. I'd rather someone else organize this, to be honest, and I can just show up and do my thing. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time I take out of my life to I don't know, just kind of bring this cool style of racing down here. So everyone that I see on Friday nights, like Friday night, it was packed. I don't understand what happened then Saturday. Friday it was packed, and then Saturday went into a ghost town. We got the lowest car count that I think we've had to date.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's not from an abundance of advertising. I got sponsorships. We got money we were giving out. I mean, we made event tees. We got trophies this time. There was no lack of trying by any means. I don't think. I don't know what more I could have done on my, but
yeah. Well,
I don't.
especially when you come to a track as well, where this track, when you're not, when you're not here and you're in Canada, like the track, gets its drivers, and throughout the year, you got the people who are actually, wrenching on their cars, getting ready for something like this, because a lot of the cars that enter into this no prep event are a lot of the cars that these guys are building. A lot of these guys aren't building just to run it down the track. They want to have fun with the event, because I remember the one we had last year that you put on. That we filmed, and I think TRC was out there, and the 240 was out there. Which again, even the people from the East Coast, which came over to support, I'm thinking, man, if the East Coast don't come, then we have even less than that. And but to see how when I asked them a question, like I think I interviewed one of the guys, and I asked him, well, how do you feel about the event today? And one of the guys said, oh, well, I wish I would see more, because obviously as a racer, you want that competition, you want to have. You want to be able to give it your all and run with the best of the best. So, yeah, they did.
Those guys from the East Coast always hit me up. They're like, "Hey, man, when are you doing another event?" They like to street race. I know, I've seen Albert with that 240. He gets down all the time, everywhere. It doesn't matter. They're always down to race.
Awesome.
They remind me a lot of kind of the way I think and look at things. Like, there's some people that are true to the sport like that, and they'll come. They don't care. He'll come. Albert comes every time, and even when he has one car to race, he's like, "How many races can we get with that car? I'll do best of 3. I'll do best of 5." Because he just wants to come out and race. And those are the kind of guys that I like, because they don't talk. They just come. They race. They have a good time. You know what? We had a small car count, but man, we had a lot of fun. I mean, everybody that was racing, it was good vibes. Like, everyone was having a great time. The races were super close. There were a lot of guys who you would have thought would have won that didn't. A lot of underdogs came up on top. It was a good event in my eyes. I mean, I had a blast. I was knocked out second round with my stupid wheelie machine I built here. But I still had a great time. It was great to see people racing. The racers had a good time. I don't know what it's going to take down here to motivate people to actually show up. I don't know if we need to. Well, I mean, we've tried a daily driver class. That failed. We tried lock-ins. That failed. We've tried, I mean, I don't know what else I can try. We've tried different classes. People go, oh, we want a stick shift class. So I start a stick shift class, not one single car. Oh, we want a class for more dailies. I start a hard tire / daily class. Nobody comes. So you can't ask for things, and then I give them to you, and then nobody comes. So then, it just, from a promotion point of view, I think because we're so far down here south, like South Florida, there's nowhere else to come from but South Florida.
Yes.
People aren't going to be driving their cars from Cuba to come race no prep in South Florida.
No.
So
they ain't coming. If it's not within the Tri-County area, like I said, even the East Coast, it's it's still about an hour and maybe like around an hour and 15 minutes, but that's not bad. But like I said, it's just true what you're saying. I mean, I know for a fact that there's a lot of fast cars. I know there's a lot of guys who have fast cars. I know there's a lot of cars in the garage right now that are potentially, fast cars that are not just, maybe are not even being used. But for the most part, I think that, given today that we, after this event settled and the smoke settled, and like you said, to me, it was an amazing event, because you might have, Nate here, he put, he drives an hour and a half to market. Even, like you said, the racers who came out, who didn't, that was a perfect example of, why not bring your car out here when at the end of the day it's anybody's game? If people are looking like, well, Mike, or, we can't race it, you never know. At that moment you could hit the scramble button and spin the tires, and, the other guy did a A to B pass, and the rest is history. So but the biggest thing is to try to, like you said, you've tried different things, different combinations, and you give people what they want. And obviously, sometimes people don't, they just, the support is not there. But I did see that there was a post today put on Facebook. I don't know if it was Tom. Somebody put a post up, and it was, they were talking about that they had spoken to you about, getting a car count, getting lock-ins, which I think I said, we should lock something in. And then, I think Tom said, yeah, that you guys had already been talking about it, because I think that it'll create, more of that, okay, I'm serious about it, because and I did see in that post, there was probably, about 12 guys that everybody said, yeah, I'm here, and, and I'll show up or I'll go. So what are you feeling about, moving forward from this, fall Brawl event to the next step?
I talked to Tom. He's a local down here. Everyone knows I come from Canada. I mean, shit, I spend half my year down here, so it feels like home to me. Maybe people don't treat it like that, but I've been coming down here since I can't even remember. So to me, this is my second home, and I feel at home here, and I made a lot of good friends here. Some people don't like you if you're not from the area. So I reached out to Tom there, and I said, well, we were just talking at the track, and I said, listen, I just want to get the racing going. I don't care. I just want to see this happen. So if you can help me, being a local guy who's at a Mockley all year round, I'm only here in the winter. Let's see what we can do to try to get some more car count, because I really don't understand why people don't come out. Like you said, 8th Mile racing is literally whoever gets the tree normally wins. You can have a super fast car, but like Nate did, he cut a perfect light, and it's hard to catch somebody. I'll be honest. If someone leaves on the tree on you and you're sleeping, I mean, it happened to James. I don't know if Ricky's car is faster than James, but James was sleeping.
Yeah.
That guy was making a sandwich. I don't know what he was doing in that car, and Ricky treated him, and he couldn't catch him. And that's the reality of 8th Mile racing. I mean,
that was the end of it.
I pulled a monster wheelie. I couldn't recover. It only takes a split second, and it's done. You can't. I mean, on paper, maybe my truck's faster than a Mustang. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but it's such a short race that you have to have 100% every time. If you don't have 100%, the guy beside you, the odds are if he had 100% on his pass, he's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So
I think it's pretty fair, man. Looking at that, everybody's on small tire. The track is not prepped, and to that extent. It's pretty much there. There's an equalizer, because you might go into a race and put too much of a tune in it to rate. Like even what Nate was saying, he said, the moment I saw Daryl, the first thing I wanted to do was go, to the computer, and then the computer kept on giving him an error where it kept on deleting the tune he was trying to upload. And then he said, you know what, it must be a sign. Let's put it away. But he said he might have hit for the scramble. He might have spun the tires, or who knows, man. And that would have been a different, whole different ball game. And I think that's the mindset, of people. Like, you just never know, man. You just, the goal is to be there and give it your all. That's the reason that you have a race car. If now you're going to be just a testing, you're either going to be the race car guy that likes to race, or you're going to be the test and tune guy that'll go out there, test the car, and then go back to his garage and say, well, I got a 4-second car, I got a 7-second car, and that's it. Never take it to the next step or the next level, which is actually racing. And so what if you lose? So what? You only get faster. If you lose, you're only going to get faster with it and learn from the experience. I mean, I didn't see you go back to the trailer and say, you know what, the event's over. Everybody do whatever they want. No, you continued. Hey, I'm not in the competition anymore. And you went right to the stage, right into the mix of things, watching it, doing it, and then obviously, giving the trophies and everything like it's supposed to be. I mean, that's what racing is about. I mean, I understand that we're not always going to win and we're not always going to lose. So it's
dude, I've never had an issue with losing. I don't know what people's hang up is about losing. Losing is always a learning experience. You take back what you learned that day and you say, okay, this is what we learned. This is what we've made mistakes. Next time, let's try to fix those mistakes and see what new mistakes come up. You're never going to win. Nobody wins all the time. There isn't okay, maybe in Street Outlaws, Ryan Ryan there wins a lot.
He's
okay.
the unicorn of the.
Yeah, but even him, he's lost to people.
Yeah.
Like, it's racing. There are so many variables. You can get right lane. You can get left lane. I can only speak from my experience. We took the tune-up. We ran in the right lane. It went perfect. Boom, A to B, nice and clean. I switched to the left lane, didn't touch the tune-up at all. It put it on the bumper and almost put me in the wall.
Yeah, that was
So,
because I know, and getting to that, you know, I know that right off rip, chip draw. I know you got the buy.
yeah,
And
probably the worst time to get the buy possible is first round like that,
yeah,
especially with buy.
yeah,
But
yeah. So, and that's what I think I don't know who I was talking to. Maybe I was just commenting on the chat, but I was saying about how you got the buy and that for sure, you were gonna let it eat to see what it would take at that moment in time, and you did. I mean, you came out of the hole and you, like you said, you did an A to B pass with the tune that you had in it. Now, you know, I think it was second round. That's when you drew. I believe you drew Joseph.
Yep.
And that's when the car. I got the and I did get that clip because I it's almost like I said, man, I know he's gonna come on the show, man. I know Mike is hardcore. I know you've been real busy, but that just speaks on who you are as a man as well and as a racer. Because I mean, you've had a long day today. You've pulled out, you know, basically taking your whole truck apart, and yet you're here. You know, when it's easier to just grab something to eat, go to bed, which is probably what you're gonna do after this, but you know, you're here and we're chatting about it. So I'm hoping that I have it here. So let's look at it. I'm gonna put it on that screen and we'll talk about it right after. Let me
sure.
show you guys right here this pass.
Quick runners here.
Wow. Let me get that back up. I don't know what.
Thank God for wheelie ski on the front, eh?
Yep. I don't know why. Like, because I saw your
Okay,
first
a
pass.
couple of issues. Watching that video, I already know a couple of things that I need to fix. Number one, if you watch the slow motion, I'm lucky enough to have a few guys that come with me to Immokalee that take different angles video so I can look at it later in the night because I don't have real time during racing. I got to adjust my bump box because I had to double bump in because it wouldn't trigger the second light. And Gary was so fast on those green light hitting the button that literally as soon as the second bulb clicked in, the truck rocked forward, rocked backwards. And as soon as it rocked backwards, I let go of the trans brake and it shifted all the way to the back of the truck. And as you could see there, pulled the tires. I think it went a good 6 feet in the air before I had to let out because it was heading towards the wall.
Yeah. And I know that you're not the kind to lift unless you know that. I saw that happened to you at Warren the Woods, first pass down, when you were racing Todd Spears.
You gotta be cautious of your surroundings because I've seen enough cars that when they go in a wheelie and they get out of the groove far enough and they hit that dirty side area, it doesn't take much to unsettle it, and then people go sideways, roll cars, and it ain't worth it to me, man. I love racing, but I'm not going to write off all my hard work and money that I put in
definitely
that truck for
definitely not. Definitely not. I think I got a clip of you that's on your Instagram, you know, and seeing the truck how it takes off. And stuff. That's an Immokalee too. You know, but that wheelie was completely different as to the wheelie that came out on it. Was it a different tune that you put in it, or you just think that the fact that the
well, we took a bunch of timing out of it. I was playing around with a bunch of different options. I mean, I tune my own truck, so I'm lucky I can, you know, change things. And yeah, I took a bunch of timing out. We took a little boost out of it, and it seemed to like it better. The problem being is when you take all that power out of it, yeah, it doesn't pull wheelies, but it also doesn't 60 foot worth of shit. Sorry, excuse my language. So,
let me see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this comment here from Mike from Backyard Shenanigans. I'll read it out to you because I know it's tight. I gotta put my glasses on too. It says, "Tell Mike to let Backyard Shenanigan and KMR be on the name of the event with Sinister, and I'll make videos, flyers, and posters." So I guess he wants to, you know, just come on board.
They're more than welcome. They can be on I'd help them do the event if they want to run it, but
well, there
I
you
don't
go,
know.
Mike. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Mike's telling you right now, bring it. He's down for whatever, man. He just wants to race and see this community grow, which is I think what I want to see too. I
I
want
just
when
want to
people.
see some of. I want to see if some of the cars. Like I race a lot of people back home in the north, and I've raced them all, and they're all great guys, and I know all the cars. I come down here because I want to see some new fast cars. Like I want to see what
Yeah.
South Florida has to offer. That's why I hold these races, because it's cool to me. I love racing new people. I love meeting new people that have the same interests I have. I mean, even some guys reached out. I put that post up. Some guys reached out from Georgia, said they have 10 of the fastest cars, small tire cars in Georgia, and asked me what I can do with South Florida's cars. But the problem is, we didn't even have 10 cars in small tire this weekend. So
Yeah. You definitely
cars.
don't want to put yourself in a position where now you're ready to go and you got three heavy hitters that say okay, and then everybody else can't make it for whatever
Well,
reason, and then it makes you look like. I
it's
mean,
not only that, it's a money thing too, right? Like these guys don't want to race for free, but they want the 10 fastest cars in Southwest Florida. Well, where are the 10 fastest cars in South Florida? I have a handful I know of, but I don't even know if they're the fastest. There's a lot of guys online that say, "Oh, I got the fastest this, I got the fast." But where were you? Where were you this past weekend? Where are you ever for these events?
Yeah.
In order to be the 10 fastest, like we have all these lists down here. I mean, I've known about the South Dig list, the this list, but in my eyes, those aren't the fastest small tire cars. Like if we were to take the Southwest Florida Dig list, I know what we're competing against, and it would just be donating money. I don't
Yeah.
mean to sound rude, but that's the reality of it. Like my truck's not even that fast, in fairness. So I'm looking for 10 of the fastest small tire cars that can get down on a no prep surface, because I've been around the country. As you know, I've seen you at multiple events. I know the caliber of cars that we need in order to be competitive. And I don't want to just go to Georgia and donate money to Georgia, because the only guys that are going to show up are, a couple handful of guys. Where
Where are they? Where are they planning? Where are they planning to have that race? Did they give a location for it? Is it in a track? Is it a front side? A back
Yeah,
side?
they have a similar setup to a Mockley. So I was trying to work out that we would go up there and we would race them there. I think we haven't finalized this, but I think it was $500 a car. So it's going to be $5,000 a team to go up there and race. And then they'll come down to a Mockley and race us on our home turf, just to be fair.
Wow.
So, and I'd love to do that. I mean, it sounds amazing. I would be totally down. I mean, we went up to Georgia to race in Mexico there last winter when I was down here. I mean, I'm down to travel wherever there's racing, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that it becomes an expense, especially with families and like just fuel. There's a lot involved into it when you go into the traveling aspect of it. But I think it's pretty cool, for Georgia to be entertaining something like that, and I think it'd be a moment for Florida, itself to like say, okay, we're gonna put our big boy pants and we're gonna see what you guys got. But like you say, I know the caliber of cars that are out there. And I know that these guys, like that's running through their veins, and if they're offering that to you, is because they know what they got, and,
Oh, yeah.
so and we're still. I mean, I think that Mike says that I'm gonna put that comment. He says that November 25th, which is the Friday right after Thanksgiving. There's a small tire list that is trying to be established. It was already there. We had a small tire list. But just, like I said, with Florida and the season and the heat, and nobody wanted to be in their car with a suit and just different things, man. Just the heat on the car is brutal itself. So I don't, now that we got the cooler weather and stuff like that, I believe that they're going to start that small tire list and see what's out there.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I hope guys show up, because I would love to see 20 cars show up for that, so we can pick the best 10. You know what I mean? Like that would be amazing. I'd love
Mike
to.
says it's gonna be some street outlaw stuff for sure. He says he's gonna be badass. So. You know, I'm hoping, man, and like I said, man, whatever, like through our channel, we had I mean, it all depends as to what, the next vision would be for this next event. I think that, if everybody just comes on boards and everybody put, like we were talking about in the earlier live last week before the event, everybody just puts their ego aside and we come for a common cause and just, let's give it all we got and, tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your uncle, tell your grandpa, tell everybody and see what kind of turnout, because I think that even the Miami guys, they were expecting it to be a slugfest, with the East Coast, man. True Street only had one car, which was insane. That was like, and you had to invent something on the fly to make it happen. And,
I'm always looking at ways to get people to race and have fun, because I mean, when they travel, including myself, if I travel somewhere and I show up and there's 3 cars, I don't want to do one pass and go home. Like, that's a lot of gas. That's why I reach out to as many people as I know, and I get sponsorship money together and stuff to try to motivate people. But I don't think it's about the money. Like, I'm almost embarrassed now to go ask sponsors for any more money, because there's there's nothing here.
Man. So
there's
we're just
no
gonna
up. So how can I go and give a guy in one class $500 for doing nothing because he showed up because there was no other cars there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't earn it. I mean, even with the True Street deal, I was really hesitant to just give somebody like a trophy because they showed up. That's why I even talked to James and I said, listen, I'll give you the trophy for True Street, because before the other people signed up, I said, I'll give you that because you are the only True Street car here, but why not take the money and race in small tires, so at least you're racing somebody? Like,
yeah.
And the problem is, like I said, like, I've gotten money together for this stuff. I can't keep doing this and then nobody shows up. It looks ridiculous. So maybe we got to lower the buy-ins and
Yeah, we got Mike. Mike says that I guess Mike hadn't. I think they, between, there was an event. I believe it was last year in the spring, and he said that they offered 10K, payout for small tire, and there was only 11 small tire cars. So
that's what I'm saying, right? You can't expect to have these kind of events where you're going to be racing twice for $10,000. Like,
yeah,
I can't like pull money anymore for these kind of things until we start to see a car count coming, because it's embarrassing. At the end of the day,
yeah.
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to use all the connections I've made personally myself, asking people to sponsor events that I'm trying to do for everybody here. Like, if people down here don't want to do it, just say, let's be in town with no problem. I would love to save the time. Because, like I said, I invest a ton of my time writing Facebook posts, spreading the word, calling people, trying to collect money, going out and buying trophies and T-shirts, and trying to make something into something that no one seems to have an interest in. So if that's where we're at, I'm gonna put it plain and simple, because I've thought about this a lot. We're doing an event January 14th. I'm gonna put together a lock-in list for all the classes. If we don't get a turnout of cars, that'll be the final event we do here in South Florida, at least myself, because it's not worth the time anymore. No offense, but if people aren't going to, like, they can talk all they want, but if you're not going to come to the track and support these kind of things after asking and saying, oh, we want racing down here, we're bored, we want, then show up. That's all I'm going to say to people. Show up to the January 14th. If those lock-in lists aren't full, I think that's it for me personally, because I got a lot of stuff, like better things I could do with my time, in essence.
Well, yeah, you could continue racing and doing your stuff to your truck. I mean, it's time consuming, man. It's definitely,
it's very time consuming, and it's very frustrating. And I've done it now. Like, I really put in a lot of effort last year, and I appreciate, like I said to Mike and Tommy, I'll put their name on whatever. It makes no difference to me.
Yeah.
I'm not in this to promote myself in any means. This all started just so we wouldn't just be test and tuning every Friday. Like, I love going to Immokalee. It's my home track here in the winter. I like the track. I like the owners of the track. I have a lot of friends. You know, I like the people there mostly. It's a good time there. I like Immokalee. It's perfect for like testing for me because it's an 8-mile track. Like, it's great. But if no one's down with racing, I'm good with that too. I'll just come there to test Friday nights like we've always done, and I'll continue traveling and doing my own thing. I'm good with that. Like, no hard feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, Joseph chimed in and he said, you know, that, I mean, we just went through that hurricane. I mean, there's a lot of guys who are probably down and out. There's people, and this place is probably recovering. I think there's people that are probably still in shock, with everything happened. I know that Daryl went through.
I don't want to
through some stuff, and then Nate went through some stuff, and I mean, but they were there, and it just, it's a season.
Away from anyone down here. I understand that. The problem being is before the hurricane, this was the trend that started last year, where we started off great and then it just slowly diminished. The last event I did before I left was similar to the one we did now, and there was no hurricanes. There was no issues at that time. So I think it's a little bit bigger than a hurricane issue.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for anyone who's lost anything. I mean, it's terrible circumstances, and I completely understand that, and I'm not taking anything away from that. I guess I'm just frustrated myself because I put in, as I said, a ton of effort to try to do these things.
So moving forward, we got January 14th. You're gonna set up a lock-in list for each class. And there's going to be, and if the lock-ins don't fill in, it's almost like one of the Facebook waffles that they have when they're trying to raffle something out. If they don't fill in, then the event will be potentially just no event, or you will still host the event, but that's it. That'll be the final event.
No matter what, I'm going to host the event on the 14th because I have respect for people who want to race. They're, like myself. The event will happen on the 14th, but the lock-in lists will tell us what we're going to do going forward. If it's something that doesn't seem to be catching on down here, then it just might not be something for down here. And I'm good with it. No problem. We'll try one more time on the 14th. This time we're going to do a lock-in list. We're going to see, because I don't want to hear people talking about saying they're coming. If you're coming, you're coming. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're coming, lock in and come and have a great time. Like, we always have a good time. I've never had a bad time at Immokalee with any of the snow prep stuff. We have a blast. Everybody has a good time. All the drivers I talked to after message me, thanks, man. It was awesome. I had a blast. So there's no negativity here. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit talking on Facebook, but that goes
that goes with anything. That's just social media.
Yeah.
And begin.
That's fine. That doesn't bother me. I would like people to come out and just, come out and race. And if they have ideas, I'm open to ideas. Hey, if the buy-ins are too much for everybody, we'll lower the buy-ins. I have no problem. I was just trying to motivate people with money so that guys who, this is an expensive sport. I know myself. I spend a lot of money and it sucks.
Yeah.
But when you go to these races, at least to me, it was always a little motivating, sponsors throw in a little money, the racers pay a decent amount of money. So, I mean, Nate walked away with $3 or $4 grand. I mean, that's a great weekend for somebody. You know what I'm saying? It is for me. Fuck. It's great. So.
Hell yeah, it's great, man. Hell yeah, it's great.
If it's a buy-in money thing, I'm going to put up a post on Facebook. I just like to get people's feedback. Like, tell me what the issue is, why you're not coming. Because I know there has to be more than 8 small tire cars in Florida.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
I think even on our coast over here, there's more than 8 cars, and let alone what's on the East Coast. I mean, the East Coast, now that, because we've seen, like, and you've seen all these events, and you see like a War in the Woods that has become a staple. They have it twice a year. and they're already, and that's already there. Like it's established, just like any like a Dig or Die or any like the Turbo John.
Dig or Die's at 100 cars right now, I think,
Yeah.
and it's still growing.
Yeah, and they're gonna, when you have that many cars, then you get like, like your second chance, small tire, second chance, big tire, and it creates that vibe. I see that, people flock to the big names. The big names are known, and I'm thinking like here in South Florida, what are like the big names of people that, they draw a crowd. There's I don't want to say celebrities, but they draw that crowd to, to follow them. Because I know that right now, like let's say Billy the Kid, he's gonna be out there at Dig or Die. The who's gonna be out there. So they've created almost like this who's who is there. It's almost like the Super Bowl versus like a Monday Night Football game. So I'm thinking that in Florida, from what I've seen, is just that it's I guess it's fairly new to most of the people down here. And we're trying to pioneer. You're trying to pioneer backyard shenanigans. Tommy. Trying to pioneer something into this area, which I think that Immokalee has all that potential. Heck, man, Moroso don't exist anymore. So a lot of the guys are coming from Miami over here. I think that, man, I'm thinking and I'm really believing that, on the 14th, I don't think there's any big race going on anywhere else or anything of that nature. And I think that if this would become a staple, it could be something like a Dig or Die that happens in Florida, and it's basically like the first race of the year where everybody else is either snowed in or the weather ain't as great. That's something to shoot around. But definitely, I'm all for, the lock-ins. I'm all for seeing who's committed, who's not, and like that, it gives you a better understanding. Because it was an eerie feeling, man, where and I wasn't the one hosting it, where I just felt and looked around and said, man, like, where's everybody, dude? Like, and we made the best with it. We made the best with it. We made an event out of something that could have been close the doors and everybody were, sayonara. No, and you made the best of it, man. And I think that it still popped and it still gave the excitement. Hell, it went over almost 4 hours, and
Oh yeah, no, we had a great time. And going back, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, going back to what you were saying, I've spoken to some of the bigger promoters, Limpy, Happy. You talk to those guys all the time, and I've told them, hey, you guys should come down to South Florida or down to Florida, host an event, and they're down. But I got to show them something. Like, they're not going to come down here to host an event with 8 cars. And I don't know how to.
I know I talked to Limpy, and Limpy said, man, for him, it was like a 19-hour drive just one way. Mine is plus bringing his tire crack, guy starting line and all that stuff. So it's
but they're down. But we need to prove
100%
that there's a reason for them to come here. If you want big names,
and you hit it on the head. They're gonna come down here, but for it to be 8 cars, it's like, what are we doing?
Exactly. I could only imagine what they'd say. And I keep promoting South Florida, man. I do it all the time at all the no preps. I say, hey, you guys should come down here. It's a good time. The weather's great in the winter. I mean, you guys are very blessed down here in the winter time. It's one of the only places that is like great racing weather throughout the winter. That's why I originally started coming down here from day one. So this is racing season. I mean, this is when everyone should have their stuff out. I understand the summers are brutal and rainy, but now is like the time. Now's the time to have fun with your cars,
now's the time to bring your hot rod out. Now is the time for everything that you've marinated. It's time to start eating that soup. All the ingredients you've eaten it already, and it's ready to come drink the damn thing. Let's put on a show, man. My biggest thing is like, when I go to these places and I'm there, and they ask me, where are you from, Florida? For them, for Immokalee to become a staple down here, to where people be like, man, I can't wait to go down there. And, you got people from Georgia, traveling to go down here. That.
Well, look how many people come to Bradenton.
Yeah.
People come to Bradenton,
a
lot of Canadians even come. And you're talking 23 plus hours of driving.
Yep.
I know how long it takes to get down here. And those guys come down to Bradenton for weekend events. I mean, I wish we had something like that where, people will come if there's something there, but if not even the local people are willing to come out and race, then you're really not going to get people traveling 20 hours. Like, I can't convince my friends at this time.
That's the whole big thing about it, man. That if you can't get the people who are local to support, then you can't expect the world to to do
No,
so.
then no one's
It's
going
not
to
gonna
come
happen.
here.
It's
No,
not
I
gonna
agree.
happen. I know that they had like I said, with this event there was some conflicting stuff with the World Street, but then I gotta believe, like, whoever wants to be about this event is gonna come to this event. It's going to be a
100%.
priority regardless. Like, unless you have some family matters to attend to, but if you're committed and you've been looking forward to this, it should be like, okay, this is priority to show up. Unless it's like I said, unless you got something that occurred last minute. But I'm hoping, man, and I'm really praying that come January 14th, we see a completely different no prep event down here in Immokalee, and we just stand up as a community of racers, all for the common cause of let's go out there and have fun. We're gonna
Yeah, and
give it
it
our
is
best
fun.
shot.
It is a good time. Like I said, I'm not sure there's nothing negative about it. I mean, everyone has a good time, so
yeah,
it's anyone's race. There's no, I don't know.
Well, Mike says he's gonna start on he's starting on some flyers right now. He says he's working on some flyers right now. So, like you,
Mike
I'm
is
just
always
like
a
you,
great
man. I
help.
want to see racing. I want to see racing. I want to be part of racing. I want to, I want to go there and just, and enjoy, like, beyond, and like you said, people don't. If the circle right here doesn't put forward their energy, then it's gonna be just dead in the water. So I'm glad that you're giving it another opportunity to, to really say, okay, this is this is like the last hurrah. It's either put up or shut up. If you guys are either gonna want it or you're gonna show me that this is not, that this is gonna be just a test and tune part of town, where it's just test and tuning on Friday, and that's all we're gonna do, to further notice. Test here and go and race somewhere else, But I'm hoping
Yeah,
that.
I mean, that's where it's come to. So this is all I can do. I'm only one person. I can only do so much. So we'll try it January 14th. We're going to have lock-ins. It'll all be on the Facebook group.
Awesome.
I mean, we have 600 people on there. So I don't know how we can't get more than 8 small tire cars. So we're going to put together some lock-in lists. Everyone's name who's locked in will be on the list. That'll be in the event, just like every other no prep event. And we'll see how it goes. And we'll give it this one last chance. Depending on how many lock-ins we get, then maybe I'll go talk to sponsors again once we get some names on that list. But for now, let's just, we'll get those lock-ins going.
Well, as soon as you start getting some stuff, I'll begin to share it on our page. I'll begin to spread the word at these events too. And if I, like I said, I'm going to Turbo John's event. I'll take some flyers if the flyers are ready. That's on the 25th that I'll be leaving. So I'll take some flyers out there. I'll spread the word out there too, man. I mean, like, I've talked to people, like, even, for Big Tire. Big tire guy like James Teach, he's got that wagon slayer. He came down here for JJ's arm drop, and he said, if you put an event down there, like, if anything's happening, but we'll go down there. But I'm thinking, you're gonna come down here to race one car.
Yeah, the 240.
yeah, and then it takes away from that whole sport, how it is. But I think that I'm gonna continue trying to talk to people out on the East Coast. I'm gonna try to just produce some posts on my Facebook and on YouTube, and just try to get some kind of wake these monsters up, man. Because I know that these monsters are probably right now watching this live, or or maybe they'll watch it, once it pops up on their feed, and they'll be probably motivated. I'm hoping that they be motivated, man. I'd be willing. G2K Racing would probably be willing to sponsor something for that event. That if an out of towner wins it, I'll add that to the pot. As an out of towner, like a bounty. For anybody who comes out of town, other than within, I don't know, X amount of miles, whoever comes down here and wins the event, that'll be an extra, to add to the pot of whatever is already there. Because I mean, like I said, it's either that or we got to bring a celebrity here. We got to bring Drake from Canada and sing in the event and do a little rapping.
But shit.
I think that we could get it done, man. I just everybody's got to just team up, and I mean I've seen in the comments there's a bunch of people already saying that they're locked in, and then they're the hardcore racers, man, who want it day in and day out. So hopefully everybody steps up, puts their lock in, man, and come a couple weeks from now we got 20, 30 cars locked in, man.
Absolutely. I hope so, and I really hope it works out because I would like to keep doing these. Like I said,
Of
they're a
course.
ton of fun. That first event we had where we had a bunch of cars, I mean, everyone had a blast. It was awesome, and I'd like, nothing more than to be able to have 30 cars and go multiple rounds and, just get a lot of racing done. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what people like to do, so.
Awesome, man. Well,
all right,
we
brother.
won't take
Anyway,
no more. We won't take no more of your time, man, because I know it's getting late.
Yeah, man.
But I'm looking forward to January 14th. Guys, make sure to check out Sinister Performance Club on Instagram, on Facebook. You got Mike Corley. This is his S10 here. Here we got it, guys. You guys make sure that, you guys, whoever's watching me out there, man, we're going to give it a whirl come January 14th. We're going to have flyers. We're going to try to, get more of these lives throughout the week, even the upcoming weeks, and do as best as we can to get you guys out here, man, to actually come down here and race, man. If there's got to be a bounty, there'll be a bounty. We just want to have some fun. We got fast cars, and we just wanna race. So, Mike, I appreciate you for coming on here, and once again taking the time and talking, man. And we'll stay in contact through Facebook.
Your channels. I appreciate everything you do for the sport, man. It's awesome. It's cool you travel around. It's cool you do these lives. I think it's great. That's why I definitely wanted to put aside time to talk to you tonight.
Awesome, man.
And you're going dig or die for sure.
100%. My dad's gonna be out there with me too. I'm gonna have him with a camera somewhere in the mix because he wants to go out me. So it'd be pretty cool, man. Like my dad called me the other day, and he was like, man, why don't you take me with you? I said, let's go. So I'll be there.
I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be there. And I know a lot of guys from the north are coming. A couple of guys from down here are coming with me. I think there's a few guys even. I think Justin's bringing a few guys from Florida. So, yeah, it'll be a good event for sure.
All right, so I'll keep in mind looking at Facebook posts, and we'll stay in touch, brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. Have a great night. Thank you.
You too, brother. Stay safe.
All right. See ya.
Well, guys, the time has come. The end has come. We've had a great night tonight. We talked about a lot of things. We went over a lot of these events. So I appreciate every one of you that have watched this event, has watched this live stream. I'm really hoping that we get it right. We get it together. We end up putting a real nice event, upcoming event here in Immokalee Raceway, and just have some fun with it, man. I got my brother on the chat, Polo Production. Hopefully he comes down to me with Turbo John's Backwards Brawl. Would love to have him there. Hopefully his video is out soon, and we can see what he did as far as the event, man. I'm happy with it. And man, that's what we got, man. We had an amazing night. Tomorrow, guys, well, first and foremost, I want to thank Mike Corley for coming out, Sinister Performance, and hosting the event, and talking with us after. January 14th, guys, is the day that we got to lock in our calendar. Us Florida guys, we need to, make it about it, man. If you got a race car, and you want to have some fun, you like to party, Immokalee Raceway, January 14th. We're going to be promoting it as we go. In Backyard Shenanigans channel, G2K Racing channel. There's going to be Sinister Performance Club. We're going to really give it all we got. We really want to have Mike down here, just hanging out with us. And, like he said, this is his second home. It's his track away from home. He travels all the way from Canada, man. And, let's support the whole project, moving forward come January 14th. With that being said, thank Nate Long for coming out onto this show today, man. Small tire winner. I would have loved to have other winners on here, but it's one of those, man. I know people have schedules. I reached out to the Run What You Brung winner, he's they're busy. Everybody is doing their thing, but we're just gonna continue to try to give you guys better lives as we go. One of the biggest things is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. we have Turbo John's Backwards Brawl. We're going to be discussing that event, which is not this weekend, but it's going to be Saturday the 26th at Knoxville Dragway. We're going to have Turbo John as our guest. We're also going to have Wes Clapp, which is the owner of Knoxville Dragway. So we're going to have both of them here tomorrow, God willing, on our show. We're going to be discussing Turbo John's Backward Brawl. So, guys, that's all I have for you tonight. Like I said, man, may you have a great, blessed night. Always remember to love God, love your family,